What's up, guys? This is for the beginners out there that are looking to build an online business, whether that's lead gen or really anything. These tips will apply to you. So if you're working full time and you're asking yourself, man, how do I break free of working the 9 to 5? You want to start that side hustle that could become something more, then this video is for you. So I'm going to go over 5 tips that you can do tangibly over the next week to 2 weeks, 7 to 14 days, that are going to help you kind of build that business on the side. The important thing to consider here and to remember is that this is not about the results, but this is about taking action. We want to take the right actions, but if we focus too much on, okay, I need to make 10K right now, we're not going to get there. We need to focus on what are the next 100 action steps I can take to be successful. And if you start today and you do those over the next 30 days, you send emails, you run some ads, you try a few things out, you can be successful quicker than you think. So let's get into it. 5 tips for starting a lead gen business on the side if you're working full time. So step 1 is pick a single niche and stick to it. There's far too many people coming into Leadbase free, link in the description, that are trying to do too many things at once. So again, this comes back to the classic marketing agency. You're helping trying to help a bunch of different businesses do a bunch of different things. You're helping a bakery, you're helping a e-commerce brand, you're helping a lead gen brand, you're helping a roofer. You're doing all these things. You can't become an expert. When you jump into lead gen, you can go and watch my video called How to Pick a Lead Gen Niche here on YouTube for free. And you can look at the different niches that are available or, have potential in lead generation. Pick one, not 2. Don't pick one and then give up after a week. Pick one, commit to it for 3 months at least. You have to stick to a niche, because any niche that you go into, the first month is going to come with challenges. And if you're like, oh, this niche doesn't work, and you go into another one, you're going to go through this feedback loop forever. So don't get shiny object syndrome. Pick a niche and stick to it for 3 months and do the actions I'm going to tell you to do, and you'll get a client and you'll have success. The level of that success depends on how much you want to commit to this and how good you are marketing, I suppose. But you'll get a client and you'll deliver leads and you'll get feedback. And then you want to build on top of that and make it better and better. So pick one single freaking niche, not 2, not 3, not 4. Okay. One niche. Pick a niche and focus on it. Number 2 is you're going to focus on doing one task each day when you get off work. Just that's super simple that it'll take you like 30 to 60 minutes. Maybe you come home and have dinner and you do it later when you put the kids to bed or, whatever situation you're in. You want to do one thing and commit to it over, maybe 2-week stretches. So the first one might be sending 20 cold emails per night. When you get home, send 20 personalized cold emails to your potential clients. These can be big clients, these can be local clients, whoever you're focusing on. Again, let's say it's for roofing, just manually scrape those clients using Outscraper or kind of another scraping tool like Apollo. Get access to emails, find the decision makers in businesses, and then send personalized emails, 20 per night. You could do that in an hour if you really pumped them out. Or, maybe you want to send super personalized messages that don't look like every other cold email that's out there. You just send 5 or 10 per night. If you did that over a month, you could send 300 emails, outreaches to clients, and I bet you're going to book appointments and book sales calls to sell leads to these people. So pick something and do it consistently. That's going to be very important, especially if you don't have a ton of time. So number 3 is you're going to save up just $100 or $200 to be able to run some test ads. So while you're sending out these emails, you also want to be testing some ads in the background. So again, let's say this is for roofing. What I would want to do is test some ads on Meta just to make sure I can get some leads. Maybe I want to sell leads for $80 and I can get them for 40. That's going to give me so much confidence going to that sales call. That way, when somebody asks you, so how many leads are you generating? You at least don't have to say 0. You can just say, oh, I'm testing some things out now. I'm generating a few leads per day just to get the quality down. And I'm looking to test with somebody and partner with them and kind of grow with them. How does that sound? That pitch actually works very well because there's a lot of honesty behind it, and people want to partner with you and be like kind of your first exclusive partner. As long as you show confidence in what you're doing, that actually can work very well. So save $100 or $200 so that you can run some tests, run some ads. And with that first client, it's not going to be perfect. Like, you just got to test. So consistently send those emails or those outreaches, but then also have a little bit of money just to test things out. There's not a lot of money involved with bootstrapping a lead generation business, but I think having a little bit of test budget is important to start out, just so you get a little bit of experience under your belt and you can see, at least get some feedback from Facebook. Hopefully you generate some leads. And if not, well, now you know what doesn't work, and you're not running this campaign when you have the client and freaking out because you haven't got leads yet. Number 4 is sell results, not services. So instead of saying, oh, it's $1,500 a month marketing retainer, I'm going to build your Facebook ads and hopefully get some leads, or I'm going to build you a website and all this stuff, right? We focus on, we're going to get you 25 qualified leads, and that costs, $2,500 or whatever if you're selling them for $100 each. You give them a very tangible result, which again is qualified leads or appointments or whatever it is. And hopefully, I mean, you kind of have to estimate it first, and you can ask me about this if you need help with it in the school, but they might ask, what's the conversion rate? And typically on Facebook, when you're starting out, it can be like lower, like 4 or 5%. But if you use a more extensive funnel like we have in Leadbase Pro, chances are you can get a much higher conversion rate. For example, we see 10 to 20% conversion rates in our funnel because we sort out a lot of the poor quality leads. It obviously depends on the niche as well, but sell the result. Again, don't just no marketing retainers or any of that kind of stuff. Even if you have to start out with a back-end deal where they pay ad spend and you get paid a small percentage at the end, at least you can sell that as what I'm doing for you is generating you high quality leads or appointments or customers. So you can very tangibly tell them you're focusing on one thing. We just had a post in Skool about a guy who was struggling to sell retainers. And once he started selling leads, people just resonated with that so much more. And when you sell your time, you sell retainers, they're going to treat you like an employee. Whereas if you're selling leads, you have more power in that relationship because you have something that they want. Whereas if you're on a retainer, they're just going to boss you around. So sell results. Number 5 is get the reps. Again, you've picked a niche, you're sending emails, you're running some tests, you're selling results to clients. It's all going to come down to getting reps. Again, people jump into a niche and they tend to give up after a month or two because things get difficult. But you need to stick to this niche for 3 months. You're going to get your first client and they're probably going to fire you. I'm just going to say it. They're probably going to fire you. So is maybe the second guy. But the third guy, you've learned, you've gotten feedback, you've finally got some good lead quality. Your pixel's starting to learn because, by the way, when you start running Facebook ads, usually the lead quality isn't great at the start, but you're getting this feedback loop in place from these clients. And yes, they're firing you. Who cares? You own your website. You own the leads. You own the data. You've got something to walk away with, as opposed to working on a retainer where they fire you and you have nothing. So you have something. So go through the reps. You're going to get fired. Business is hard. There's a reason that people jump around doing drop shipping and rank and rent and SEO and all this stuff. Everyone tries stuff and they give up. You need to stick with this. The best gift you can give yourself in 3 months is that you did that, because if you don't, you're just going to be the guy a year from now that's going on to the next big thing and you haven't made progress. If you commit to this for 3 months, starting at 3 months, ideally, like this is a 6 to 12 month thing that you're building. And you can speed that up by joining Leadbase free, link in the description. You can get help from us, people who we do it much faster than that now. But my first lead gen business took me really 6 to 9 months to really take off. And then by month 12, I was just killing it. And so it's just that crossing of the chasm, and really that it's kind of like the J curve. You start out worse and you feel worse, you feel worse, you feel worse. Oh, and then it's just this exponential, but that takes time to go through that dip. So you need to commit. Well, guys, hopefully that was helpful. Again, if you're working full time, you're busy, obviously there's a lot that goes on in our life. Focus on doing these small things. These small wins are going to make a huge difference. I remember I was working on car insurance when I first started my business, and I would just work kind of after hours. At the time, I was young, I didn't have a family, so that was much easier. Maybe you're not in that situation. But again, even if you just committed an hour per day of doing deep work on this and really focusing on the things that can move the needle, I think you can make a huge impact. I know you can make a huge impact on your business and in your life. So if you have any questions about that, any ways that I can help you, please shoot me a DM on Skool, like, subscribe, and comment on this video with where you're at in your business and maybe a struggle that you're going through. And I'd be happy to answer your questions because I answer every single comment on this channel. And I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next video.